Industrial work environments are inherently dangerous. When you step onto a job site, you are surrounded by heavy machinery, suspended loads, and fast-moving operations where a single misstep can cost a life. To mitigate these risks, employers require safety training. But when you look at the requirements, you are hit with a confusing alphabet soup of numbers: OSHA 10, OSHA 30, 510, 500, and a maze of regulatory codes. Guessing which course you need is a risky financial move. Taking the wrong class means wasting hundreds of dollars, losing days of your time, and worst of all, being legally barred from stepping foot on the job site you were hired for. We are going to decode the specific training track so you know exactly which course you need to get on site, land a promotion, or even transition into a highly paid authorized safety trainer. Understanding how this system works is how you protect yourself physically, while maximizing your earning potential over the course of your career. The foundation of this system is the Outreach Training Program. These courses are designed purely for hazard awareness. They teach you how to identify and avoid dangers, along with your legal rights as a worker. They are not formal regulatory certifications. The entry point is the OSHA 10-hour course. It covers the absolute essential safety topics and is built specifically for entry-level workers who just need to understand basic site hazards. Then there is the OSHA 30-hour course. This expands the curriculum significantly and is required for anyone stepping into a role with safety responsibilities, like a site supervisor or a foreman. This table breaks down the difference. You are trading time for depth. The 10-hour covers broad awareness, while the 30-hour digs into specific hazard control and prevention strategies. If you are just starting out, the 10-hour course is your fast track. It requires a smaller time and financial investment to get the Department of Labor card you need to walk onto the site on day one. But if you plan to manage a crew, you must take the 30-hour class. Employers expect their leaders to have this deeper level of hazard control training to keep their teams safe. Every single day, crews across the country rely on these Department of Labor cards to prove they meet the baseline safety requirements for their jobs. Choosing between the 10 and the 30 is a direct trade-off between a fast, low-barrier entry into the workforce and securing the credentials needed for long-term leadership eligibility. Before you pick your hours, you have to choose your industry. OSHA enforces safety through the Code of Federal Regulations, and they split their training into two completely separate legal worlds. This decision tree illustrates the split between the two main regulatory standards, 29 CFR 1926 for construction and 29 CFR 1910 for general industry. The construction track focuses entirely on hazards unique to active building sites. You spend your time learning the safety rules for fall protection, scaffolding, and heavy machinery like cranes and excavators. The general industry track applies to almost everything else. It covers the specific hazards found inside factories, warehouses, and healthcare facilities, focusing on things like bloodborne pathogens, electrical safety, and forklift operation. These Department of Labor cards are absolutely not interchangeable. A construction card will not get you a job in a manufacturing plant, and vice versa. If you pick the wrong industry track, your training is completely useless to your employer, and you will have to spend your own money to take the correct course all over again. There is a common misconception that holding an OSHA 30 card makes you a certified safety expert or gives you regulatory authority. It does not. To reach that level of authority, you have to move up to the next tier, the OSHA 510 and 511 standards courses. This matrix shows the core philosophical difference between the two tiers of education. The outreach programs are strictly voluntary on a federal level. They exist purely to teach basic hazard recognition and advocate for worker rights. The 510 and 511 courses require 26 rigorous hours of study, focused entirely on reading, interpreting, and enforcing strict legal safety codes. Managing intricate fall protection or high-risk rigging requires verifying that every component complies with the exact letter of federal law. Advancing to a standards course is a massive intellectual jump. It is the required bridge for anyone transitioning from simply following the safety rules to actively enforcing them. That bridge leads to the pinnacle of the OSHA progression system, the OSHA 500 and 501 trainer courses. This roadmap shows the strict, unwaivable sequence of prerequisites you must complete before you can teach these classes yourself. First, you must pass the 510 or 511 standards course for your specific industry. A 30-hour card cannot be substituted. Second, and this is the highest barrier to entry, you have to prove you have 5 years of verifiable field safety experience. OSHA does not issue waivers for this requirement. Finally, you must pass the intensive 500 or 501 trainer course, which includes a performance-based test on your instructional abilities. Because this path is so demanding, the internet is flooded with scams. Any third-party provider promising to bypass these prerequisites or sell you an instant trainer card is fraudulent. Completing this grueling path delivers a massive return on your investment. It grants you the exclusive authority to independently issue Department of Labor cards and positions you to command a top-tier salary in health and safety management. Safety training is a journey. To make the right choice, you have to match the course to your current career reality, so you don't overpurchase unnecessary training or undervalue your credentials. If you are an entry-level worker who needs immediate site access and basic survival knowledge, take the OSHA 10. If you are a manager or supervisor balancing your time investment with the need to hold clear leadership credentials, enroll in the OSHA 30. And if you are a career optimizer willing to leverage their field experience into a high-paying authority role, commit to the 510 to 500 trainer track. Accurately aligning your training level to your specific career stage ensures you know exactly how to stay physically safe on the site while optimizing your long-term financial trajectory.